In three, in two, in one. Welcome to Yogi Brian Talks. I'm so excited. I have Ashton August from Yogi Approved on. Ashton, what's going on?
Hi, Brian. It's so good to be on the show with you. I love our chats. I'm excited to jump in.
Yes, I was thinking on my morning walk today, it just randomly like the inspo came to me. I'm like, is that your real name, Ashton August? Is that your real name, or is that like your writing name, or like your because that's such like a flowy, cool like movie star name? I feel is that your real name?
Well, thank you. And also thanks for calling me out because no, Ashton August is my pen name. When I started yogiapproved.com and I knew that I was going to have a lot of public facing articles, videos, books coming out, I wanted to create a pen name for myself. And it was right around the time that my dear grandfather, who had raised me, just passed away. And his middle name was August. So it was in tribute to him as well as my pen name. So there you have it, Ashton
I
August.
see. Well, I like it. I like it. I thought that was your real name until this morning. I'm like, wait, that just goes so well. And she's a writer. And yeah, it's probably a pen
Yes.
name because my first name is not really Yogi. A lot of people are like, what's up, Yogi? It's not. It's
What?
Brian. But yeah, I know, right?
Oh
Mind blown.
man.
Mind blown. It's actually Bill. Just kidding. It's not. It's not.
Bill. But now I'm gonna
Yeah.
always call you. I'm changing it to Bill in my phone as we speak.
Bill.
That's
Just
that's
call me
great.
Bill. I need all the
Yogi Bill.
bills. Yeah.
But you know what's funny,
So
Brian, is that when
yes.
I refer to you as Brian, because Brian and I are friends, so oftentimes it'll just be like, hey, I'm talking to Brian later, blah, blah, blah. And people are like, who's Brian? Because without Yogi,
Yeah.
it's just, you're just Brian. So Yogi Brian has definitely become who you are, just as Ashton August has become who I am. I even get all of my mail as Ashton August now. Just
See, right? I feel you on that. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm Yogi Brian now. I don't even know what my other name is. I'm like turning into the persona that I have online, which is cool. Like I like it. I like it.
hey, you're gonna start getting mail to Yogi Brian now. It's gonna
I
be great.
do. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
see,
Like just go with it. Go with it. Right.
I like it. Yeah.
Well, we just went into it. That was awesome. That was awesome. I didn't expect that. I thought maybe your name was Ashton August because I'm like, yeah, is your favorite month August?
Well, what's funny is my birthday happens to be in August, August 7th. I'm a Leo baby. So I also love the summer. So I guess, yeah, if I had to pick a favorite month, it might as well be
Ah,
August.
I love that. I think I saw that. I think I saw like your birthday was August or there's a post. And I'm like, how awesome is her last name's August and she's born in August. That was just now it all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yep,
Well, let's just go
exactly.
into it. We already went into it, but my first question I always ask is tell us something about you that most people don't know.
Oh, I love these questions. I always love getting
Mhm.
asked these questions in like two truths and a lie. Have you ever played that game? That's a fun
Oh
one.
yeah.
Really get them. So if anyone's listening now, they're gonna totally win if they play that game with me. Um, so on just because the writing topic came up already, most people know of me as yoga, right? But what a lot of people don't know is that my first and foremost passion in life is writing. And I actually started off writing as a poet. So most people don't know that about me. But the fun one that I would also like to share is, and Brian will appreciate this, I actually have a big head tattoo on the left side of my skull. It's now covered up with hair, but I don't think a lot of people know that about me.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you told me that, you're just don't seem like a person that would get a head tattoo. I was surprised. I was surprised. But now I know you're probably crazier than I thought you were. But I mean, you're a yogi, so I mean, all yogis are pretty crazy. So
And I'm a yoga
yes.
teacher, which makes me the higher
Ah,
echelon of.
definitely. Yeah, definitely in the psycho range. Yes. Crazy to
Right?
psycho. There's
Hey, you
levels.
said
There's
it.
levels.
There's levels that you dictate so well in your hilarious memes. So yes, you eloquently speak it for us. But yes, I am that person that would shave my head and get a head tattoo. So there it is.
That is, see, not well, now you can't do that one truth on the two or the one, what is it? Two lies and a truth. Yeah.
Two
It,
truths and a lie, and they have to
two,
pick out which is the lie.
Ooh,
It's a
yes.
fun one. You should play it with your next guest because the things you learn, OMG.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put it on. That it's was on my Hinge profile, but I deleted that. Deleted that. That's
I don't
funny.
know.
TMI. TMI.
TMI,
But I
Brian.
get the DMs. I get the DMs still. It's cool. It's cool.
I
What
like
so
it.
what started your yoga journey?
Ah, aliens. I'm half kidding.
Aliens.
Half kidding. So oftentimes I feel like people find yoga and then they eventually find spirituality. And for me, it was the opposite. I was very interested in aliens and existentialism, like reading a lot of Jean Paul Sartre and Friedrich Nietzsche. And then that led me
Ooh.
into spirituality. So this was like when I was, 17, 18. This then led me into spirituality with Hermann Hesse writing Siddhartha, one of my favorite books, and Eckhart Tolle, and like self-help, like Dr. Wayne Dyer and Alanya Van Zant, all these incredible people. And
Yes.
so that was my passion that then kind of catapulted me into just making my way into a yoga class one day. I think I had just turned 19, and that one class, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm coming back for more of this. And here I am.
Here you are, yogi approved all over the place. I was looking, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself here on my outline, but it's all good. We go with the flow here. I was looking
Yes.
at your Pinterest, and you have Yogi Approved has like 8 million views per month. I was really impressed. And it was just
It's
like all the articles on there. I loved it. I loved it. So yeah, congrats to all that. And yeah, look at 19 years old going to a yoga class all the way to here. Like what an awesome journey. That's
mm.
I mean, we'd have to have like 6 podcasts to get through that journey, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah, it's been an amazing journey. Thank you for the love and for checking out our Pinterest. Yeah, it's incredible to see, how that passion has evolved and to look back on the course of that journey. And I have so much to say about it. So I'll just instead just be like, yes, where do you want to go from here?
Yeah. Let's go back to your writing. Like when did you know you wanted to be a writer? Were you writing as a child? Like how did you know?
Yes, I was writing as a child. I moved around a ton when I was little, and my parents were divorced, both working full time. So I was most often at my grandparents, my grandpa, who I spoke of. And so from a very young age, I was around my grandpa, who always told me the most creative, amazing stories, and my grandma, who was an incredible painter, but also loved nature and really loved the fact that I loved to write poetry about nature. So she was like, really, and come on, Ashton, really encouraging me all the time. So I bring up moving around a lot because I didn't have any friends. I would never be in a place long enough to really make friends. I was a shy kid.
Mm.
So instead, I was the one kind of off by myself writing, like the weird kid in the corner at the cafeteria writing during lunch, but it was really cool because I think
Were
the
you wearing
teachers
all
took.
black and were you a little emo or
No, I was totally not the emo kid.
okay?
I was just kind of like the dweeby, nerdy kid, you
Mm.
know. And I loved it. And I think the teachers kind of took. I mean, maybe I didn't love it at the time. I loved writing. I was kind of sad and lonely, but I think
Yeah.
the teachers kind of took pity on me and took me under their wing. And so in fifth grade, my English teacher asked me if I wanted to publish a book of poetry for the school library. So
How
that was my
cool.
first, like, yeah, little step into the writing world and being shown that I can do this and I want to do this and I want more of this. In fact, in high school, if you would have asked me, Ashton, what do you want to be when you grow up? I always was going to say, I want to be an editor for a magazine, or I want to write for Condé Nast. So here we are, maybe not writing for Condé Nast, but hey, I own my own magazine and I write
Yeah,
for
your
it. So
own. How manifestation, making it happen.
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. When did you like when did you first started posting? Like, did you post any of your poetry online, like AOL Messenger? Like, did you do any like forums or anything like that?
Oh man, good old like AOL chat. Remember those, the chat
Yeah.
rooms? I did not. I'm trying to think. I did have Ooh, I had a MySpace. That makes me nervous. I'm like, that's
Oh, yeah, you
oof.
better delete it before we post this.
Before this goes out.
Yeah, before this goes out. See what you posted on there. I need to do
Better
that
get on
myself.
there. I
But
know,
yeah,
right?
what's
I
on
think
there?
everyone listening is like immediately going to be like, oh, snap. Like just
Yeah, see, people don't know our real names though, so it's cool.
haha, haha, everyone. This is why you have pen names.
Yeah, yeah. Try and find Yogi Brian on MySpace. Not gonna happen. Not
Not
gonna
gonna
happen. Didn't
happen. Nope.
exist.
Didn't exist yet. So, okay, on that note, real fast, I want to hear about Brian's journey to becoming Yogi Brian, but
Uh,
really your journey to finding
I
yoga.
knew it was gonna happen. I knew you're gonna flip the script on me. It's because it's what you do. You're good. You're good at it. You're awesome. You're awesome. Yogi
And I
Brian's journey. Yeah, I mean, it was all an accident. It started on Instagram. I never wanted to be here. Never really wanted to be a yoga teacher or be here. I just wanted to make fun of yoga. And then I started practicing, and it really was like medicine to me. It helped a lot of my emotional stuff, relationship stuff. And yeah, the more I made fun of it, the more I kept practicing. And yeah, now we're here talking on this podcast. And I have like what, 6 videos, 6 classes on Yogi Approved. How cool is
yeah,
that?
you do.
How
Yeah, you do.
cool is that?
I know it's amazing. And I'll be honest, you guys, for everyone tuning in, I knew that piece about Brian's journey that he just started by making fun of all of us.
Yeah.
Because shameless plug here, he did an awesome Yogi highlight interview with us with Yogi Approved to tell all of our members, his students, about himself. And I love that story, but I never heard like more about what yoga did for you that made you decide to become a teacher and all of that. So thank you for giving us just a tiny little
Oh yeah.
nugget of
Yeah.
that.
You're welcome. We'll post that article in the description. Everybody listening, check it out. And the classes there. I mean, they're super professional. You and Tyler were like the nicest. I was so nervous. It was like my first, like actual video shoot with a company. And I was just nervous. I'm like, am I going to mess up my lines? And are they going to be like sweating? Like, oh, we only have, 10 more minutes. You better get it right. And it was so relaxing and peaceful. We even we danced after we did the Macarena. Like
We
how cool is that?
we busted out the Macarena. You were rusty. I had to remind you a couple of the moves,
Yes.
but we had a full-on dance party, and you've got the moves, my friend. You've got
Thank
the
you.
moves.
Thank you very much. That really that boosts my self-esteem. It really does.
Oh, it's so fun. We had a great shoot. Noah came. Brian's son
Yes.
is incredible. I love this little boy. And he worked one of the cameras. Like this kid is a talented young man. So that was just a really fun experience. And yeah, Brian's classes are the jam. People love them. They're so unique. I could go on and on, but suffice to say, if you're not agreeing with me, you need to find out for yourself. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And everybody listening, yes, go take classes there. I practice to Yogi Approved. They have very, very, very high quality classes. So, some will get you deep into your heart space, and then others will make you sweat. So yeah, in the link, where it's at. I take care of you all. I put those links in there. I take care of you. Yes. That's why I really wanted you on.
You better take care of them by giving them your discount code too, Brian.
Yeah. Yogi Brian, my real name. Yogi Brian, all one word.
His God-given name.
Yeah,
born that way.
Born that way. My mom like saw me right when I was born, and she's like, it's Yogi Brian. He will go on Instagram and make fun of yogis, Karens, Carls, and he'll release some fucks for the world. Yes.
She was gonna name you Bill, but once she saw that face, she knew.
Yeah, Bill will be my writing name. Maybe I can write for Yogi Approved someday, and I'll be like Bill something. What would my last name be? Bill.
I think it needs to be an alliteration, like Bill.
Bill. Yeah. I was thinking like Witherspoon or something.
So now you're married to Reese also?
Sure. Hook it up.
Bill Witherspoon.
Reese. Bill Witherspoon.
On,
that's my Yogi Approved writing name. Coming soon. Manifesting things right here. right
I love it.
here. So yeah, how did Yogi Approve happen? Like what tell me like I want to know like the exact moment where you're like the inspiration came. Where were you? I want the whole scene.
Well, we are so like-minded because as soon as you asked, I was like, I'm going to take it to exactly where I was because there are times in our lives where things happen, whether you realize it in the moment or not, that were so impactful that you remember like the tiniest details. I think I can
Mhm.
remember what shirt I was wearing, but regardless, I was in my Arcadia apartment, which is right next to Scottsdale, tiny little town, tiny little apartment. And Tyler was over, and I had recently graduated with my master's in creative nonfiction writing. I was also currently teaching a lot of hot yoga classes each week. And he was working as a marketing director for a company that was not making his soul sing. So
Mm.
we were like, okay, what are we going to do? Like, I want to bridge my passion for yoga and writing. I feel like I want to be doing more. Tyler felt like he needed to be making a shift in his life. Sitting in the bathroom of that little apartment with my notebook is where we had this idea to create an online yoga blog that would do product review articles and would just, share articles and information for all things living a healthy yoga lifestyle. And on that same notebook, on that same day, we came up with the name Yogi Approved, and we started to map out like little weird nuances, which is what you do when you want to manifest something. You get down to the nitty gritty. So it was like, what colors would our website be? What kind of font are we going to
Ooh.
use? You know what I mean? Like really getting specific, and it's all there. Now, I haven't found that notebook in many years, but it's floating around here somewhere. I gotta find it. I need to put that
Mm.
on the wall right next to our YouTube plaque that Noah got a photo
Yes.
with.
Yeah, and we need a picture of that. And is that how you manifested it? You wrote everything down specifically?
Yes, when it comes to manifestation, this is another topic that I love to talk about, and I do a lot of workshops on and I write about. It's all in the details. So it's getting as clear with yourself as possible in terms of what it is you want. So for me, I knew I wanted the website, but what was it going to look like as specifically as possible?
Mm.
In addition to that, it's also allowing yourself to feel as if you already have it, meaning
Yes.
you're getting detailed in like the physical sense of how you would feel, how you would act, how you would go about your day as the person who had already manifested ABC. So it's
Mm.
feeling it for yourself, believing in it, and then taking those really specific, detailed steps to make it happen.
Yes. I love that. I saw it in my mind. I saw it in my mind. I see the book, your book, how you're writing it out. And yeah, that's
Exactly.
powerful. Yeah, we got to get more into that for sure. And so with your manifestation, how often do you go back to manifesting? Is it like a weekly thing? Do you have like a schedule where you're like, okay, what do I want to do next?
I
Because
do.
you manifested it here, and then it's like, okay, where do I go to the next level? Do you do the same process?
Yes, when I do want to manifest something, it is a very similar process. Meditation is also a huge aspect of
Mm.
my manifesting because I meditate every single morning, whether it's for 5 minutes or 20 minutes. Usually it's just for 5 minutes. But the point is, I sit down every morning and I do it. And this is where I get really grounded and centered and I set my intentions for the day. But this is also where I really put to work the manifestate the element of manifestation, which is the visualization. That's where I
I
really
see.
put that visualization aspect to work. But then there's also a lot of maintenance involved, right? So when I'm not
Mhm.
actively manifesting this exact thing that I want, like 6 months ago, I was really actively manifesting getting a book deal. So once I got the book deal, now it's like, which I did, PS, now it's like the
Congrats.
ongoing maintenance. Thank you. Of what do I want to manifest with this book now? So that's like the ongoing maintenance work, so to
Mhm.
speak. The final part to manifesting that I would love to touch on quickly. You recently had one of my best friends, Yumi Jean Francois, on your
Yeah, she
podcast.
was awesome. Love you, me.
Love Yumi. Loved that episode. Y'all jump back and listen to it. It's like 5 or so back at this point. So good. But anyway, one of the things that she taught me, because that woman is a
Yeah, her
manifestation.
energy level is like
Woo!
skyrocketed. I strive
Oh,
to be
she's
up there. where
I
she's at.
loved how she was trying to get you to raise like the volume. She's like,
Yeah.
come on, Ryan, give me a 7.
I'm like hovering around a 3 to 4 daily in energy level. Like I'm just like that there. That's
Like,
that's why it's the meditations. That's why I can do the meditations.
oh,
But yeah,
that's why you are literally one of my favorite meditation teachers. Oh, yes. But yes,
thanks.
you were trying real hard to get to that 7. I
I
appreciate
was
that effort.
trying. I was trying. I was trying. Someday.
Yumi just lives at a 10. She's just right up here always.
She is. Yeah, she brings everybody up. It's like, okay, I was probably like a 5 or a 6 for that day. And then, right after I got off it, I came back down, adjusted. But yeah, love Yumi. Love Yumi. But yeah,
Love
what were you
you,
saying?
me. So she does scripting, and scripting is really amazing because it is writing, which is also very powerful for manifesting. You do want to be putting pen to paper or fingers to keypad of what you want to manifest. Because spelling, right? It's called spelling for a reason. We are essentially casting spells, casting nets over what we want,
Ooh,
right? Bringing it
interesting.
back
I didn't
in.
even know. I didn't even know that. Yeah, that's cool. That's really
Our
cool.
words are powerful. So choose them and speak them with intention. But so scripting is when you write in the present active tense. So you're writing to yourself, about yourself, but as if what you're manifesting has already happened. So let's say that I was working on manifesting Yogi approved. My scripting would be not like, oh, I hope this happens or I can't wait for this to happen. It already happened in the script. So, wow, Ashton, I am so incredibly proud of you for all that you have created with Yogi approved. You have 1 million monthly readers. I never thought we could get to this place. And here we are. And I'm so proud of you for that. And just, to kind of hit all the points that you want to be manifesting through that scripting. Ooh, I have goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah.
It is so potent.
It's like writing a movie and you're the lead star.
Thank you. Perfect analogy. So I would encourage everyone to try it. If you're like, ooh, I've been wanting to manifest this new job or promotion or this trip or even a way of feeling, a state of being, script it out. See what happens.
Script it out. Write that movie.
Write that movie.
Yeah, I was just thinking like most people, even myself right now, I'm like, would I even watch that movie? Like, would I even watch my movie? That's good. Like to script it and just, yeah, where do you want to be at? I love that. I'm going to
Probably
use that.
Script it to where you want to watch that movie. It's a must see.
Exactly. It's a must see. Yeah. Yeah. Best
Exactly. Bestseller.
I like that scripting. And I like that it's spelling, casting spells is powerful. I get, goosebumps. And it's going to be Halloween in a week. Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, if for those of you not watching the video, you'll see me. I just turned into like an 8-year-old with excitement. I love Halloween. Yogi Brian, what are you going to be for Halloween?
I'm not sure yet. That's a really good question. That is a really good question because it's coming up. I was looking at my calendar and I don't even know what Noah, my child's going to be. I need to figure that out. My first thought was Bob Ross. I love Bob Ross. Like I have to be Bob Ross. Happy Trees.
I love the Happy Trees. I love you as Bob Ross. That's awesome.
I mean, I've already had the beard. I just need to get the afro. I need to get the afro, which I can definitely buy a wig.
You're halfway there. You're halfway there.
Boom. What are you going to do? What are you going to be?
Well, Tyler, my husband and business partner, for those of you listening, he is a different variation of Waldo every year. And I always try to like hustle him into a couple's costume whenever I can. And so this year I really wanted to be a yoga teacher zombie.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Because if I'm being honest, I'm being lazy because last year I was a zombie nurse and he was Dr. Waldo. See the couple theming here?
I see. Yeah.
So I had a bunch of zombie blood and leftover stuff from last year. So I was like, yeah, I'll just be a zombie yoga teacher, which is hilarious given what we do. So Tyler is going to be yoga teacher Waldo.
Okay. Okay. Where is the Shavasana? Where's Waldo?
Exactly. It'll be with us for the Halloween party of zombie
fun. And
I know.
I really just want my son to go trick or treating because I just want his candy. Like I'm just gonna be straight up honest about it. I'm gonna see him. Wait, I think I have like a year or two left for him. Like he's 11, so I might have like another year for him going trick or treating. So I need to take advantage of this year from the candy because he's gonna share it with me. He has to.
You better get in on that while you still can. And
I have to.
dude, I'm about done with my candy. I bought it like a week ago. Bad decision, right? I buy it early,
Yeah.
pretending as if I'm not going to open the bag and have a
Right.
piece myself. There is like 5 pieces maybe left for the trick or treaters. So don't bring Noah to my house. You'll both be disappointed.
The light will be off at your house. I get it.
Yeah.
It's
I'll be
cool.
inside
It's cool.
eating kale raw.
Yeah, that yoga teacher life, that yogi life. So who are your teachers? Like who's your favorite teachers and why? Yoga teachers or any teachers?
Oh man. Well, yoga specifically, I went to a phenomenal yoga teacher training, and I'm really grateful I did because I was trained up under some incredible teachers. They gave me a really strong base for like the knowledge that I still have. But what was lacking in that training was like the community aspect that I so thrive on. So after training, it just kind of felt like, okay, bye, see you later. But I started teaching at a studio in Scottsdale, and the studio was not Bikram yoga, but it was hot yoga with set sequences. And it was the most incredible gift to start my teaching that way. The woman who owned the studio was such an amazing mentor to me and an incredible teacher. So I kind of came up under her, but also just having that gift of teaching the same sequences. So all this repetition of getting a student into a pose and out of the pose and like, tweaking and trying to finesse my cues. What an amazing place to start. So personally for me, that was like a huge plus. But, I'll be honest, and this might sound totally biased. I love my YA classes teachers. And what's so cool about having created my own platform is that in addition to be able to share my teaching online on a platform, it's being able to work with all the teachers that I really respect, love, personally practice with, love their practice. Yeah. And, not all of them are yoga celebrities like you, Yogi Brian. Not all of us are as big.
Well, not really. I'm not that cool, but thank you.
You're pretty cool. I'm like half giving you crap, half like, yeah, you're pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
But what I love about our teachers is that everyone is so relatable and down to earth, and everyone is so incredibly knowledgeable and well trained, but has their own lens through which they view and facilitate the practice, and their own brand of passion that they bring. And I just like, it's so cool to honestly say when I want to take a yoga class, I'm flipping on my own platform and I'm like, ooh, I will absolutely take that meditation class with Yogi Brian. I'm not just giving you shit because I'm on your podcast. Yogi Brian's meditation classes, y'all, like they bring me somewhere real deep, real deep. It's incredible. And that's when we first started to work together. Yes. I took one of your meditations on YouTube, remember? And then we had a phone call, and I'm pretty sure you were just like, hey, it's an exploratory call. Let's see what happens. And I was like, when can you film with us?
Yeah, that was so cool. That was so cool.
Yeah. So I just like, I feel that way about all of my teachers, and it's just such a gift. So I'm going to have to go with the YA classes teacher lineup pretty strong.
And
if I do say 100%,
so I 100% believe you, and anybody out there like that doesn't know Ashton, she's 100% saying this, like, honestly, just because like I went there and I was like a part of like their home, we filmed at their home, and like, you can really feel the good energy. And so I can like 100% vouch for that answer. Like you really do. And how cool is it that, you're an industry that you can like basically learn from all these teachers. Every teacher is bringing like their own manifestation or their own, spirituality or, meditations, and you get to learn and then have them on your platform as well. So that's, how cool is that?
Oh, dude. Well, thank you so much for everything you said. And it is super cool. And I'm 300 hours certified. I take a lot of continuing education courses, but between all of our incredible classes that we put out and me oftentimes being behind the camera for these classes and then editing them all, in addition to all the articles that we put out on yoga from incredible, knowledgeable teachers around the world, I feel like I have thousands and thousands of hours of training because I'm like constantly learning
Yeah,
and being surrounded by all these amazing people. It's incredible. I'm so grateful for that.
is so cool. Just the power of manifestation right there working. Everybody out there listening, just came from writing in your journal and having an idea and then getting clear, making sure you got all the details, like how would it feel, scripting your life of like, what is this going to be like in the present moment? Like it actually happens here. And then boom, just
Mm.
keeps growing and growing and growing. I mean, you were telling me, I think it was last year, like on your YouTube, like it hit a certain thing. And then like a couple of months later, like it hit another milestone. So yeah, it's like, just keeps growing and growing.
That's right. Yeah. It's one of the times that you came down to film with us with Noah. We had recently gotten our YouTube plaque. YouTube sends plaques out every time you reach 100,000 subscribers. But we were laughing because Noah was like, oh my gosh, he wanted a photo with
He
it.
loved that.
It was so cute. But by the time we got the plaque in the mail, we had already surpassed 200,000. So that's what we were laughing about.
Yeah. I think that's what, when I told Noah we were coming down to record, I let him know Yogi approved, but that's all I told him. And like on the way down, like driving down to Tucson, he's like, they have over 200,000 subscribers, because he's all about YouTube and subscribers and, YouTube stars. It's all he watches. So he was so excited to see that plaque. That like made his
Oh.
day. So how cool is that? And which platform did you have the most success early on? Which platform was it?
Honestly, early on, it was Pinterest because that's where we
Mm,
focused for our article sharing and all of that. Because when Yogi Approved started, we were primarily only written articles, written reviews, things like that. So Pinterest was our first big traction, and Facebook, because in the early days, meaning of Yogi Approved, so back 6 years ago now, Facebook was still huge.
yeah.
So Facebook grew super fast for us.
Oh,
But
awesome.
then, yeah, but then it changed like everything
Yeah.
with social media does. So yeah, I would say Pinterest, Facebook, and then YouTube in order
And then
of biggest
YouTube.
platforms. Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Cause you're crushing it on YouTube now. And, I'm just
Whew.
seeing it. Yeah. How cool is that?
It was. And a lot of YouTube for us blew up when the COVID lockdowns started.
Mm,
I was so stoked to be in a position where we already had so much content to share to the world that so needed it during lockdown. And these are all the comments, like just pouring in on these videos. Like, you've literally saved me during COVID. Like, this is what I do every day to stay sane. I mean, like,
yeah.
dude, like, I was just
Yeah.
spending so much time like talking to people in the comments, like, we're gonna get through this together.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone switched over to online. It's such a different world now. And I
Whew.
remember, I think it was before COVID as well. I went on to YouTube just because I wanted to do more like Sun A's or Sun B's, or like learn it better just from my own teaching or just from my own
Mm.
practice. And I found I think it was like the Sun A video, or Surya Namaskar A, or I don't know if it's A or
Yes.
B, but I like do that all the time. Like I love that. That's one of my favorites. We'll have to link that up as well.
Yeah, we should, because am I mistaken? Is that how you and I first connected?
I think so. I commented on it. I was like, this is great. This is
I
great, because
think.
I send people there. When they're like first
Oh,
starting, I'm just like, here you go. Like, this is what you should just do. If you don't know where to go in yoga, and you want to get a little bit of workout in and a sweat, pretty much get your whole body, in it. I send them that video. So I love it.
that's awesome. Thank you. Well,
Mhm.
this is what the beauty of internet is, because this is how we got connected. It's called Sun Salutations for Beginners, by the way. So yeah,
Yes.
we'll link that. But isn't that so cool? I love, and now look at us.
Yeah.
You've done classes on YA classes. We've had you on our website. We're doing our podcast now. I love it. This is why I love what I do.
Yeah. And it's so cool that you reached out, because, I really manifested like the meditations, like during the pandemic. I really, I wrote down what I wanted. I just started recording nonstop every single day. I think it was in, I don't know, maybe June. I was just like, I'm going to do this every day for like 30 days, 90 days and just get better at my craft. And then I think after like I recorded a certain amount and I just got better and better, then you reached out to me about like a meditation that you listened to. So it's just the power of manifestation and just doing it over and over again that eventually, it does pay off. Like it gets out there, you saw it, and then now we're here. Now 6 videos on Yogi Approved. How cool is that? Just
I love
yeah,
it.
full circle, comes all the way around.
Full
And what
circle.
what advice could you give a yoga teacher or a meditation guide if they're just starting out to get on to be on Yogi Approved? Like what advice would you give either a new yoga teacher or someone that is like really motivated to get out there?
Yeah. Well, that's a great question. Great timing for the question because we've covered so much of it throughout our talk already.
Mhm.
The first of which is practice. When you're a new teacher, it can feel so daunting to get up in front of a big group. I remember the first time, like one of the prime time most popular teachers asked me to sub her class of like 45 students every single time, packing out the room. And I was like, oh my God, but of course I said yes, because I knew that the only thing worse than saying yes and having to get up there and be so scared is to say no and not get the
Yeah.
experience, right? So teaching as much as you can, saying yes to everything, get yourself out there because people ask me this question a lot, like, what's your advice for when I first start off teaching, or how do I, succeed as a yoga teacher? And I always say you really want to niche down and find your niche. Like Brian found his niche in not just meditation, but also neurolinguistic programming through
Mhm.
meditation, which is so dope. But also, how are you supposed to find your niche when you're just like a brand new baby teacher? You find your niche through saying yes to everything, because over time you're going to
Yes.
start to see what you love, what really speaks to you, and maybe what you don't need so much of. So
Mhm.
that's number one for sure. Also practice, like being able to go to class with my mentor who owned the studio that I taught at first and just watch and like listen to how she cued and kind of pocket away the cues that I loved, right? That made sense to me. You want to continue practicing your cues. I remember I used to literally drive to go teach and like practice taking people in and out of a pose.
Yes, in the car, right?
Yeah, like why
Yeah,
not?
perfect. I
You
love that.
know,
That's what they told me to do, and it worked because you talk it out loud and you get used to saying the words.
you got to say it out loud.
Yes.
Exactly. And you got to say foot, not that foot. You got to say, I'm sorry, you got to say right foot, not that foot. Like you just got to like get real
Yeah.
specific and like
Right
real
foot.
nitty gritty.
Hmm.
Yes. But also when I say practice, I mean maintain your personal practice, because you hear it a lot, but I also feel like a lot of us are like, man, it's fine. Like I'm too busy. I'm teaching too much. The last thing I want to do is find time to take a class. But that's what fills you up creatively, motivationally. It keeps your brain fresh to like what the cues, that work and don't work. For better or worse, I think anyone who teaches yoga will forever take a class and look at it through the lens of, oh, I love that cue, or that cue didn't really make sense for me, or that didn't really feel
Yeah.
right in my body. You know what I mean? So those are my main pieces of advice.
Yes. And that's so spot on. That's so spot on. I was just thinking on my journey. I did say yes to, teaching classes and things that I didn't want to do. And then I found out, when I was teaching yoga, like I really liked meditation after going to I went to like a Brian Kest power yoga 3 hour class. And I thought it was going to be 3 hours of just power yoga. And it was really 2 hour talk and then an hour of yoga. And in that talk, he was saying that, it should be called gentle yoga. And it's really about meditation. And he really got me into looking into meditation because he had done a Vipassana and it just really like got me down that road. And then as I was like teaching classes, people were like, your voice is just so calming. And like I could put people to sleep with just the voice. And then that's how like I really got into meditation. And it took me like a year every day practicing meditation, doing meditation until I actually led my own meditation. So that's what you said on your second point. You have to practice. You have to practice. Like if you're a yoga teacher, like you have to practice. You have to go to classes. You have to have a home practice or whatever. Go on Yogi Approved and watch classes there, but you have to. Like, yeah, because people can feel that. I feel, at least myself. It's like if I'm teaching meditation, people can feel if I have a meditation practice. You know, if I'm leading them on meditations and I haven't been practicing, like, I don't know, there's a tone in your voice, there's uncertainty. They're not gonna, they're not gonna really feel that. So I love what you said there. 100%
Thank
spot
you.
on. Yes.
And what you said is so spot on, not to scare any of the new teachers out there, but just as like a very great reminder, the room can read your energy,
Mhm.
even if it's just on camera. I mean, the room can read your energy. So if you haven't taken any classes all month and you're feeling so stale and stagnant, how is your
Yeah,
class going to come off versus if you have filled your yoga cup and you're feeling so good and nourished in your own practice, and that's going to come through too.
absolutely. Absolutely. So good. All this stuff is so good. And what are you currently working on in your practice? Whether you're yoga, meditation, or just personal self-care practice, what are you working on right now?
Ooh, well, when you first said practice, I took it as yoga, and I right now am really immersed in doing a 30-minute flow right after my morning meditation outside.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, and it's a 5 day a week, every day of the week for me, just because that's where I'm at right now. And then I take the weekends off. Oh my goodness. It's just been so great for my mindset and for how I feel. I got really out of shape. Now, when I say out of shape, I mean I lost my strength.
Mm,
This past summer when I was on the road a lot, filming and just, van lifing and not getting
yeah,
my physical practice in beyond like lots of hiking. And so to get back on the mat and try to bust out 5 chaturangas is humbling when you haven't done it for a while. But that's what's great about yoga is it's not linear. It's a lifelong practice.
mhm.
You take 2 steps forward, you take a step back, and it's oftentimes when you take a step back that you learn so much about yourself,
Yes.
where you're at in your practice. So point being, I'm taking that first step forward again with my daily morning practice. And sometimes it's like super power, super sweaty. Other times it's like child's pose for half of it. And,
Mhm.
so it is whatever it wants to be. And I love that. But sorry, I did want to say this too, though, because
Mhm.
then you said self-care practice. And dude, I have been really talking about this a lot lately because first of all, having a solid self-care practice is so important. And it's not self-care is not like treat yourself to a bubble bath on Friday night with a glass of
Mhm.
wine. Like, hey, that sounds great. And if you like wine and you have a bathtub, do that. But when I say self-care, I mean, just like Brian and I talked about having a daily meditation practice, it's what are you doing every day for yourself for
Yes.
self-care? And how are you holding yourself accountable to do it regularly? And also, reminder, self care doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be super time consuming. It is not a privilege or a luxury, reserved for some and not all. Self care is key for our mental health and for our overall state of being. And
Absolutely.
dude, and I'm harping on this because I know we all need that extra mental wellness and well
Yes,
being
we
right
do.
now. But also because this past summer, not only was I traveling on the road, filming a ton, running a business, I was also writing that book I was telling you
Oh,
about.
yeah.
And it was a very quick turnaround time, very quick, weekly deadlines. And so I knew the only way that I could get through all of this and do it to the best of my abilities and bring my very best to it was to form like a really solid self-care routine. And thank goodness I did because I lost 2 very near and dear people to me in my life this
Oh,
summer.
sorry to hear that.
Oh,
Sucks. Mm.
thank you. It does. And it's part of life. We all go through it. Doesn't
Mhm.
make it any easier. But the point is like, I couldn't be more grateful that I had established this routine because it literally carried me through. It carried me through the grieving. It carried me through all the pressure and timelines and deadlines. And it carried me through in a healthy way as opposed to, and I know I'm speaking to a lot of you when I say the burnout way,
Yep.
which I did for the first 3, 4 years of my business. Brian, with the amount of things that you do in a day, I'm sure you've gone through this yourself,
Oh, yeah.
but burnout is real and it is hard to get through and to recover from, and to instead approach things through like a really empowered and healthy, lens of self-care first. Everything else
Yeah.
falls into place. It's a total game changer.
Game changer. Game changer. And like when you were saying all that, all I could think about it was just like being honest with your feelings and like really knowing how you're feeling, because like, during burnout, and I'm there a lot. It's like, yeah, you're just pushing past the feelings. You're feeling something and you're just like, especially like grieving losses, that's a one for me. It's like, okay, I'm just going to work harder. I'm just going to do all this content and make this, but it catches up. Like everything catches up, and like, yeah, I'm sure you have that in your self-care where it's like, what am I feeling right now? Or what I need to, what self-care do I need to do today?
You literally hit it on the head, because I'm not saying you're wrong for this when I say that your response to grief is to like go 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 do. But that's a very masculine response, right? That like, I'm just going to push through it energy. I'm just going to go harder energy. And I possess so much of that masculine energy in myself, but also like the feminine side would be what you just said, which is like the key to self-care. It's just being honest with your feelings and what you need that day. Because sometimes, yes, like your self-care is like, go, if you're feeling in the zone, get it done, take advantage of that. But, other days during my grief, for example, there would be days where I'd wake up and be like, I'm not working today. I'm not. Like, there is no way. I'm going to go on a nice long hike. I'm going to connect to those people that I lost, or to source, or you know what I mean? Like, just and
listening.
just listening.
Listening to yourself. That's
exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course.
Absolutely. And what else would you like to share? We're kind of winding down to the end of time. So what else would you like to share? Is there anything else that you'd like to inspire, share to the listeners?
Yes. Well, just to wrap it up, I know we've talked a lot about YA classes. The newest category of YA classes that's like my baby, and I'm so passionate about it, is called Mindset Wellness. And so that's the new offering that I'm really working on currently, offering more things along the line of Yumi's program. We talked about Yumi earlier. She did Mantra Mindset. So I'm wanting to put more things like that out that are supportive to our mindset, our mental well-being, and empowering us from the inside out. So that's one thing that I'm really excited about that I've been working on. And I'm currently cooking up a program that I'm going to facilitate as someone with a background of living with high functioning anxiety. I'm putting together a program that is mindfulness tips, mindfulness practices for dealing with anxiety. So I'm really excited for that one. Also, as I mentioned, my second book is coming out this winter. This is the book that I was just writing. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. It's a year-long companion for women, and it's all centered around building up your self-confidence, your self-love, and your sense of motivation. So I loved writing it. It was such a gift. I can't wait for it to hit the shelves. Barnes and Noble, Target, and Amazon.
Add to cart, everybody. Add to cart. Like 88% of my listeners and audience is women. So add to cart, ladies out there. Do it. Yeah, and get on YA classes. Do it. Use discount code Yogi Brian.
Yes.
Do it now, right after this.
Go.
Yeah.
And yeah, right after our podcast, we're having a meeting with Brian about the next classes he's going to film for us. So
yay.
There's more coming your way. Yes. But aside from that, the final thing that I want to share, just because I'm so proud and so excited to where we've gone. I don't know the last time you saw our tree counter, Brian, but
yeah,
for every class. Oh, go ahead.
I'll ask after. It's just a funny thing.
For every class a member completes on YA classes, we plant a food producing tree for farming communities in West Africa. And our members have planted over 250,000 trees. This is 250,000, and I'm not good at math, but that is correct math. Thrilled so proud mama over here. So I just had to
Saving the
brag
world.
on, you know,
Saving the world.
One down dog and tree planet at a time, guys.
One tree at a time. I release fucks, you plant trees. I mean, how that is such a good combo.
What a great
it's amazing. Team. Yeah, what a great team. I mean, you're planting trees to bring air for people to breathe. And then people need to release some fucks too. So yes.
Releasing the fucks is a great form of self-care. PS.
True. That's my mission. 10 billion. It keeps going up. It keeps going up. I set it at 10 million first, and then I was like, wait a second, that was way low after talking with a lot of people out there. But yeah, how awesome on the trees. Yes. I'm glad you got the math, because I was trying to calculate math and I'm like, oh, she said it. Think
someone's got to do it. You know, we got to, like,
someone's got
yoga meditation teachers, we got to support each other when it comes to math, you know?
Yes, I know, right? We can barely get our lefts and rights figured out. Yeah.
What were you going to ask?
Oh, I was just going to say that about releasing fucks and trees and that correlation. Where can people find you?
So aside from yogiapproved.com and YA classes, which is both on our website as well as a separate app, 5-star rated app, I may add. You can also find me personally on Instagram. My name is I am Ashton August. I love hearing from you. So please connect with me, reach out. And thank you all so much for joining us and listening to this awesome conversation. I had a great time. So thank you for having me, Brian.
I had an amazing time. I can't wait to chat after this and see what the future holds. Everybody out there, thank you so much for listening to us. Go follow Ashton. Go check out the classes. You will be super happy. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Ashton. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.